There was a warning, a watch from 5 o'clock that day on, but the warning, when sirens started going off, there was a 5 to 8 minute time frame there to where some people didn't get into safe places and some people did.
So I was headed west already a couple hours for a crane rental. So when I got the word, I was already a couple hours closer. I felt like that was the word of the Lord, like you're already 2 hours closer, keep going. So I called my normal team of crane operators and owners, Michael, called the guys in to operate, called Richard in, called Charlie in, John in from Illinois.
So I first got a call from Justin and he told me one hit. I said, where at? He told me Alabama. I said, how bad? He said it was a tornado. And I said, I'll get on it.
Back home we have tornadoes here and there, but the one thing that I noticed about this is it was almost like the tornado just set down right on top of this area and just unleashed. It wasn't like a hop and a skip like it is back home. You get hit here, it's nothing real centered, but here it was just like almost like a bomb blew off. It was just one big area got just annihilated.
I think the tornado was only on the ground for 15 minutes. And in 15 minutes, it did hurricane-worthy disaster. So it was, this has been a little different. This is the biggest tornado that I've ever worked.
So the first day I got here was a few hours of just pitching in. I had no equipment. I was just helping people push stuff out of the road that had chainsaws because I just got here in my pickup, Didn't even pack a bag. I left my house that morning to go to work.
First thing we did coming into town, this truck gets a lot of attention, so everybody's like, hey, you guys here to help? Yes, we are. Oh, well, that's great of you. Bless you. If you need something, give us a holler. So they were pretty welcoming toward us.
This time was a little different. The turnout was nice. Whenever I got off the airplane, I was offered food within the first 5 minutes, a blanket. And of course, I just got off an airplane, so there's plenty of people in need, but just the atmosphere this time has been, I think because it was a smaller disaster, the local atmosphere has been great. They've been very accepting of us and what we're here to do. I've never, ever met anybody that does things the way y'all do, handles things the way y'all do, goes out of your way to help people the way y'all do. And that's what made me reach out to y'all to ask if I could help you.
We met Vicky and we asked her, do you need anything? And she began to weep. And I said, give me a hug, And she said, do you guys have a chainsaw? And I said, oh yeah, we've got much more than that. We'll be right back. And Megatron was down the street about a block. I came back over there and I said, our chainsaw's only 126 feet long. I hope that'll work, And she couldn't believe it. So that was an awesome moment to be there for her in that time. So.
Just the way Justin talked to her, the things he said to her, the things y'all did for her. I know you don't have this, I know you don't have that, I know you don't, but we have this and we don't mind using it. Any other tree company I know of would have said, we can't do this, you don't have no money, you don't have no insurance. Justin and you, Mike, did not say that. Y'all said, I don't care what you have, we got you.
When we first arrive, we're often met with distrust, and people have their guard up from stories they've heard about dishonest contractors and people coming to rape and pillage after these storms. If you force your will, you'll be met with resistance and turned away before you have a chance to even help.
Yeah, so I mean, in these disasters, sometimes they're just such grand scale that no matter how hard people try to help, there's just so much there that it just seems like nothing's getting done.
After the first day we had all of our resources on scene, Brock and I were at the hotel strategizing on how best to approach the next day. Damage reports had come out and we learned of the hardest hit areas. We had also identified where Elliot lived and decided that that would be the most significant place we could help. We knew we were going to the epicenter of the destruction, but we still didn't know exactly where Elliot's house was. Once we got up on Oak Street, we saw an opportunity to help Scooter with our crane, but were met with quite a bit of resistance. When Pops, the elder of the family, showed up, he ran us out and made us fold up the crane and leave the area. It wasn't until after Brock showed the patience and gave the situation the time it needed that he was presented with a window to bring back a skid steer, and they agreed that if they could operate it, they'd be willing to let us loan them one of the skids. We had a chance to talk more with Scooter and see that the roof had to get tarped before that night's rain, and began just making little steps towards the ultimate goal, which was to do something that only we could do. So by the end of the night, we were able to not only share prayer, but also sing Amazing Grace with the whole family. Those moments, although emotionally difficult, opened more doors and created the trust between us that was needed for us to continue to learn the story of what had happened on their street. Come to find out, Pops had not only knew Elliot, but had built the house down the street that Elliot was living in. And it was through this connection with Pops that we got to learn stories about Elliot, him playing his drums in the shed and jumping on a trampoline, and really feel like we connected to the community. After sharing those intense moments with Pops, I began walking back down the street. He called out for me and asked for my phone number. When I inquired why, he told me about a dream he had the night before, where God told him that he must stay in touch with those that came and knew his name. By building on our relationship with Scooter and Pops, we were able to move forward with our mission of removing the monuments of hopelessness that remain in front of Elliot's home. In the physical realm, these are just a few cars and a large tree, but on a spiritual and emotional level, these are reminders that would remain in the community as a symbol of their darkest days. Although we have done our part to the first steps of recovery, it's all for naught if these seeds of hope don't continue spreading throughout the community. This isn't just Elliot's story, it's all of ours. If we can all just come together, bring what we have, and do our part, communities can be rebuilt stronger, even after disasters like this.
Yeah, so my hope for this community is that, that the opportunity will present itself for them to be able to resource this material, all this wood material that has, fallen here. There's incredible timber here. And although people have lost a lot, they've lost a lot of structures and stuff like that, there's absolutely enough material here to rebuild. And so my hopes are that that material will be resourced for them to rebuild and not just ground up and buried or burned, but would actually have a harvestable value for them.